Hello, Kapil. Thank you for being authentic and uncompromising. Your words truly have some kind of a transmission that has transformed my life profoundly. Um, my question is about enlightenment, and I think for several decades I've been drawn to this enlightenment, but now I am really maybe talking out of frustration, um, and I really respect your your thoughts on this, and maybe you know I want to know, is enlightenment real, and or is it a wild goose chase? um, if there is something called as ultimate freedom, I shouldn't have to seek or search it, right? Because that seems to be a, a very intense bondage itself for me. I hope you can shed some light on this.
So does ultimate freedom exist? Yes, but you have to understand the words that you use. You said that if I have to search for it, then it's a bondage. But do you already have it?
I do not.
Okay. So if you don't have it, then that means that if you want it, that you have to get it, right? If you want it, not that you should, but if you want it, whatever you want, even if it's a glass of water, you have to get it, right?
Right.
Okay. So when you say that searching for it is a bondage, what you are really saying is that the only way that you know how to search for it is through prescriptions. The only way that you know how to search for it is through the vehicles and the conditioning and the modalities and the methods and the techniques and the perspectives and the concepts that the world has taught you, through the things that have been set up by the world with spirituality and austerity and ceremony and whatever. Read this and do that and practice this and practice that and do, so that's what you're really saying.
I You are right. In the past, at least for 10 to 14 years, I was pursuing it through prescriptions, and that didn't get me anywhere. But since getting exposed to your work, my intensity has grown exponentially, and I have seen the futility of prescription as well. But my friend that I near, or I don't see any markers of progress, makes me suffer even further. And that's the reason why I termed it as it is it is creating more bondage for me. And I feel like, dropping this entire thing would be more freeing than being so intense. And I don't know if that is a choice that I have to do that volitionally.
So the disconnect, the thing that one has to understand is that just because you have been exposed, and by the way, that isn't a small thing. That is not a small thing to be exposed to the fact that prescriptions, that for you they haven't gotten you anywhere. Okay. Um, I'm trying to be very careful in my word choice so that I don't say that people should not follow prescriptions, because I have no interest in telling people what they should and should not follow. I have no interest in that. So I'm very careful. That's why I said very, very specifically, I said that for you, the following the prescriptions by your own admission has not gotten you anywhere. But the so while on the one hand, it is a valuable thing to recognize even the basic level, and that basic level is huge. Like I said, that's 0.0001, but that's 0.00001 that but that basically no one on earth will ever get to, like except for 15 people. Okay. Because like I said before, the idea of prescriptions isn't even known. So aside from like medical prescriptions, like Advil or something like that. Um, but I think the thing to realize is that you believe that while it's a valuable thing that you have been turned on to the fact that prescriptions have not worked for you, at the same time, you believe that just by having recognized that's reached into your soul, and that has flushed all of the prescriptionizing out of your system. um, that would be very unlikely, to put it conservatively. And therefore, as long as one is still seeking through prescription because of his conditioning, even though he has gotten a glimpse into the strings behind the stage of prescription, that is bondage. And that's why the bondage still exists.